Hi everyone. So in our last video, we have seen that how we can build pipelines and release our Angular apps. So in this video, we are going to see how we can create a mechanism by which we can change our variable names according to the release pipelines we have. So the basic requirement is like when you have some development environment, so you also have APIs which are deployed on that development environment only. So whenever any release come from one place to another, so we need to replace our variable. So in order to do that, I have searched something called the configuration services. By using that, we are able to fetch keys from a particular JSON file. So for example, if you can see this one, so this will become like a app setting.json kind of file in Angular. So the concept is we add variables here. So when we are doing development locally, we can add our local paths here, and when we deployed it, it will get replaced by the actual environment variables. So that is what we are going after. So in order to get started with that, you need to follow a configuration pattern. So I have added a configuration file under assets folder. So this is that, and I have also created a service called configuration loader. So inside that we are injecting these things, and we are using HTTP client and HTTP backend. I'm not the actual creator of this code, so you can find it like configuration loader, and you might be able to find the actual blog post. So I'm just showing the way we can use it. So that's all is there. So by calling this function, we can get our value from it, and then the load configuration which actually sets the configuration path. So it's like some kind of pattern, and this will be the interface which will look exactly like the app settings. So you need to see that. So here we are reading the JSON file from it, and on the basis of that we are using keys. So this is our configuration loader file, and there is one interesting code which I have added as well inside the app module. So here we are calling that service, and inside that this thing I have seen it first time, like using use factory, and also can't explain much about it, but it's working for me, so I have just added that. So this code should be added, and then this code need to be added. So for that we will have a configuration service which reads values from this JSON file, and how we can use it, just like any other service, we can use it like by injecting it from the constructor, and from that constructor we can just call the function, or you can say variable. So that's how we can use a service. So once you have that service, and also there is one more thing which worth mentioning it here is the web config. So you also face many problems like which get you like confused, that how we supposed to add some URL rewriting file from your Angular project. So one thing you can do is you can add this file inside your source folder. Okay, so it's inside that source folder, and then you can add it somewhere inside angular.json file, and you can add it as a asset. So the benefit of doing that is when you build the project, what it will do, it will also copy this web.config in your application source code. So when you actually deploy it, it will also get deployed on the server, so you don't have to manually copy and paste the stuff. So by that it will be foolproof from our side and fully automated. So let's just get back to the actual problem, which is this thing. So we want to have something which can replace in our release environment. So when you do that, you need to push to the your source code. So I have already done that. So if you have noticed, I'm using Angular DevOps. In previous videos I have been using DevOps 1 just because I have already created service in here, so most of the code is just the same. So if you look at the pipeline which I have created, as you can see, is the Angular DevOps. So I haven't changed anything inside this pipeline because it's just for the build purpose. So when it get built, we will have like all the web config. So we will have web config and asset inside that config.json. We will have assets inside that asset folder. So let's just go to the release definition and click on edit. So here, so for example, if we have multiple environments in here, so we need to replace variables according to that. So in order to do that, we need to use this file transform file. So like I have told you, when it get deployed, let me just show how it will look when it get deployed. So as you can see, when it get deployed inside inside the destination folder. So when it get deployed, web config will going to be there, so it will copy as it is. We are not changing anything inside it, and it will also copy assets folder as well, and inside that assets folder we will have config.json. So the main benefit of having that is we are able to manipulate it, because when we use this there is another way we can do that. I think inside, yes, that's the environment files. We can build it by passing some flags according to the environment we have. The main problem is the Azure or DevOps doesn't work that way, because when you actually build the whole app, it will also get clubbed with other JS files, so it's really hard to manipulate inside it. So I find it really easy with this config file. It's neat and clean and very doable and understandable. So I will show you this file transform function. So this task, what it will do is it will look for the app. So if I show you, when our build pipeline builds anything, it will get inside this folder, and inside that app folder is going to be there, and then our project name, and then inside that you will see assets folder. So there is a config.json inside it. So I have just take up to this path, and because it will search in a recursion way, so it will get inside that assets folder, and inside this we are using the file format as JSON, and target files, I have mentioned this here, that assets.config.json. so you will have that, so it will go here and it will look for the file, and what it will do, it will search for the keys which we have defined. So the keys which you will define it will going to be here. So API endpoint, if you go back and see what config file, what we have defined inside config file. So API endpoint, it's also there. So you need to match the exact in an exact way so that it will get it will get selected, or the condition gets true, and it will replace it with this variable. And that's it. I think I have just used this variable, and inside that task we are just manipulating it. So other values are just as default, and I have run that FTP again for just a deployer which we have created in our last video. So it's just doing the transformation. So when this release works, it will going to replace our variable. So if you go to the application, what I am doing is inside the app component, let's go inside the app and app component, I am getting a file, I am getting a value from this, and I am appending to the title, right? And inside config.json we have a local host something like value, but on the actual environment what I am getting a variable is localhost variable replacement. And you also need to check whether what is the scope of this. So you can add scope like development and save it in here. Let me just for the sake of this demo, I will just append version 1 to it, maybe dot, no, maybe not version 1. Let's just see what is the last version I was using. It's version 4. Okay, so let's just go with version 5 now. So it gets saved. I will save it in here. So I'm using development. Let's just cross check the pipeline again, and it's showing the development. Okay, so I will just save it, save. It's all enabled, triggered enabled, and when I commit the things, it should change with version 4 what I have added. Some confusion. Okay, version 5. So it will show version 5 in there, right? And what I have mentioned inside the variable, it's version 5. Okay, sorry about the confusion. So we should see v5 even inside this variable as well, and inside here. So variable replacement. So we have saved it, and let me just commit one more time. So I have v1. I will click on save. Now go here, and I will just add v5 and do a commit on that. Yes, and then I will push the changes to the GitHub. So it should start our build. So let's just go to the build again, and as you can see, it's showing v5 and it's started to build. So we need to wait for some time and see how it will go. So build is still running. It's been 25 seconds already. Yeah, it's been 1 minute now. Let's just get inside and see what's causing the time, and we will get inside. So npm install, it's in there. It always takes a lot of time. So now our build triggers. So it's now built, Now it's doing a artifact, and I think it's done now. And let's just go to the release, and I think yes, this release started. So let's see once again. It's showing replacement v4. Now it should get replaced by v5. It will just start deploying, or let's just get inside and see what is actually happening. So it is done with the downloading the artifacts, and now we can see how the transformation is going on. So let's just see whether we get any transformation happen or not. So now you can see in this step we actually get a transformation. So as you can see, it's a very good way of seeing that whether your transformation is working or not. So it works like a charm now, and as it shows that it's worked fine, so we should see something like .v5 and v5. I will just click on refresh, and as you can see it's showing .v5 now. So this will be the variable, and this is coming from outside the variable. So now you can see how we can replace it. So we can have like multiple environments, like we can have staging, and inside the variables we can define it like scope for staging, and we can have something like staging dot something variable. So that's how you use variables with Angular stuff, and do a multiple deployment using a same source code. So I hope it is of some use, and if you have any question, please comment below. I will try to answer them. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.